So let's take a look at a couple of pullback buys to show you how you can get into. And pullback buys are harder than cheat, when low cheat, handle. They have a more clear pivot, right? So you can see right here. You can see the pivot right here. You can see that resistance. Pullback buys are hard. They're hard to understand. They're hard to interpret very clearly, and you need a lot more practice and experience to identify them live. They're easy after the fact, but they're not easy when the chart is unfolding. So IBKR is one that I traded 3 times, pullback buys. And let's go through them quickly and walk you through what was I seeing to help you try to maybe take some notes of what a good pullback buy looked like. Okay, so here's your uptrend, early turn, and then here's your base, right? So this could potentially be a continuation head and shoulder, right? Or it could be a cup with handle, okay? So base is building, great earning, didn't buy it on earning. This is not set up yet, right? So you got maybe your first and then just up, right? So this is potentially your cup. I don't like buying cups right away going into new highs, especially not in not so good environment. This is the earning in the pullback, right? Pulling back to the 21 EMA, inside day, volume drying, and this was my entry, right here above the high. Okay, so this is my first pullback buy setup on this stock, and I sold, I think, here. And then the financial crisis happened, right? Just banks blowing up, and bankrupt, and whatever. So now you get all this selling. Okay, so off my list, and then my weekly trading, I start showing back up, right? Because now it's stabilized and it's starting to round up the base, right? This was a strong stock here, but financial issues took it down. Fundamentally, the stock is really strong. So it starts rounding up the base, and right here is when I start getting interested again. Okay, so you got your first, and then you got your second, and then you got just more tightening, right? Just more tightening. And this is where I bought it right here coming out. So this was my second buy on a pullback right here. And I think I sold it here. Just was getting close to earning. I'm just not holding through earning. So that's my second buy. And then I just waited for earning to get out of the way. So with earning, we had huge volume, and I normally avoid red bars and just let them give me more time. But this caught my attention. And you remember when I said I don't kind of buy them like Mark Grosso does. This is your mini coil, 3 bars inside of 1 bar. The reason why I was interested in this, 2 things. Buying it over this high gives you 1.3%, 1.4% stop. Okay? The earning reaction was bad, big volume. What happened next day? We opened at the low of the candle, bounced off of the 10-week MA, and nothing but buying the entire day. Right? And then after that, 3 days, extremely slight pullback with narrow range candles. What is that telling you, right? Just overreaction to earning. Institutions figured out, okay, nope, it's not as bad. Let's come back in and buy the stock. And what was it going to be to find out if I'm right or wrong? 1.4% to make 10%. I think I sold it here actually. I have a dotted line here. This is previous resistance from the past, so I sold it like at the high of this day. Then it pulled back. I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. And then obviously it went back up. But what I have this fib retracement here that I created. It essentially just allows me to put my reward to risk. So I bought the stock. Here's my stop. Here's where I bought it. I'm going to extend those so you guys can see it. So I bought it here at this line. This is my stop. This is your 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R, 6R. So I did this quick trade for 4R. So that's how I go into these low risk entries. And they are all pullback entries, right? So uptrend, pullback, uptrend. And oops, and I'm buying here when they're turning back up, right? Same thing on this one. Let's do that again. Uptrend, pullback, uptrend, right? CCCJ is another one that I traded very, very, very similarly. I traded it here, here actually, stopped me out, almost break even. And then I was looking at it here. It's a little bit higher. I did not trade it. I traded this pullback right here. So this pullback right here is what I bought. Okay, so uptrend, pullback, uptrend, and then you buy it here. Okay, they're not as easy to really identify. FND is one that I really missed. I traded this stock here. Again, clear pivot. That's why I said the pivots are a little easier to trade. And this is a good example of early, right? So here's, and I know we're hitting time here. Here's your uptrend. And then I bought it here. So if you've heard what I said before, you're gonna maybe wonder, well, why is this not early? Okay. So here's the uptrend, here's the pullback. It's really not enough cycles, right? There's just not even one, right? It's potentially just rounding up the left side. Why was I interested in this? There's not a lot of red. Your OBV is making you high. There's tons of buy-in at the 50. Right? If this was all red, I would not touch this one. Okay? So context of where the setup is with the volume is a big tell as you try to navigate your setups. Not that this worked, but it's why I bought it. Right? So I got stopped out, maybe for a little loss here after going. But this is the pullback buy here that I really wanted to get it in on, and I didn't. I don't remember why I didn't buy it. But now you've got this bigger base, right? You got your just bigger base here, and then you got your handle, right? So this is an I don't think it's an inside day. Oh, yeah, it is an inside day. Yep, it's an inside day. And this would have been a great pullback buy. So it's in the handle, and then you also have your uptrend pullback, and then potentially continuation. And then you have an add-on buy that actually just developed after. So you buy it here over the high, and then up, pulled back, then you have another chance of a pullback buy. So now you have a bigger up, pullback, and up, then you can add to your position on this setup right here. Okay. I know there's not a lot of pullback tutorials out there around this stuff, but it's extremely important to know and see where these pullbacks are, right? They're not up extended. They're not after the stock moved up 20, 30, 50%. They're either right above the base or inside the base. And that's where 90% of my buys are, unless it's a power play, right? So FND is inside the base, on top of the base. And then you look at IBKR, inside the base, inside the base, inside the base, right? And they're hard to find. Everybody can see a stock pulling to the 21 EMA, right? After it breaks out. Everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can play that. If that's what you want to play, if that's style, if that's your way of trading, there's nothing wrong with that. Strong stocks that broke out, pulled the 21 EMA, and then bounce and move. But you got to figure out where you want to live and how you want to trade. what you want to do.